Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie back at you today with another beer review. And what I'm looking at is the Samuel Adams Rebel IPA. This product was introduced in 2014. It is 6.5% alcohol by volume and 45 IBUs. I have had this beer, but it's been years since I've had it. I'm not a really big IPA drinker. Um, I do remember it being good for an IPA. It was just, I remember it being a little bit too hoppy. And I think I had it on draft actually. But like I said, it's been years since I've had it. This beer is the original Rebel beer. They also have a Rebel Rider, a Rebel Rouser, a Rebel Grapefruit. But this is the original IPA that started the Rebel line of products from Samuel Adams. The best by month is November 2018, so we're still within the freshness date. So I gave it a pour with about a finger and a half head, which is dissipating already. The carbonation looks about medium. There's some nice streaming bubbles going up the glass. The color is golden. It's a golden color. It's not hazy at all. Very clear. No sediment or particulate matter floating about in this one. This one, okay, it's not as fresh maybe as it could be because the Best Buy month is next month. So it's been on the shelf for a while, I suppose. I'm not smelling as much hops as I thought I was going to smell, which could be because of the age, but it's still within the freshness date, so I don't know. I am picking up on some hops, but I am getting a lot of malt. It's malt forward, and the hops are there as well, but it's not as hop forward. It's not as much of a punch in the face as I thought it was going to be with the hops. Which, like I said, it's been so long since I've had this beer, I really don't remember exactly um, what this beer was like. I just remember having it on draft somewhere, and I enjoyed it, but it's an IPA, so it's not something that I would gravitate towards normally. All right, so very nice on the aroma. Some nice barley malt breadiness on the aroma. You are getting some hops. It smells pretty good, but a lot different than what I was expecting it to smell like. All right, let's go ahead and get into this and see what we're dealing with here. So, cheers, guys. Okay, it's more hoppy on the taste. It's more hop forward. But it's not overly done. It's more balanced than I thought it was going to be, and it does say on the label, boldly hopped and balanced. I don't remember it being this balanced when I first tried it years ago. There's a nice bitterness to this one. It's not overly done. You're getting some light, like lemony citrus notes. There's an herbal thing going on with this one, a nice herbal component, like a grassy note. Um, this is really enjoyable. There is some nice barley malt breadiness with this one in the middle of the sip, and the finish is pretty dry, although the hops will build up over time the more you drink on it, and it might be a little bit lingering in that sense if you were to try to session this beer. For instance, I think after about two of these, it would start to become a little unpleasant for me. If you're a big IPA drinker, probably not so much. But for somebody like me who doesn't really drink too many of these beers on a regular basis, I think it would become a little unpleasant after about two. Um, but this one is very enjoyable. It is more balanced than a lot of the IPAs that I've had over the years. Um, and I like that. I don't like the super hop forward beers without any malt complexity. And then, of course, when the hops are that forward, that prominent in the flavor profile, you miss out on just about everything else in the beer, and that's pretty much all you get. With this one, you get the nice breadiness, you get the hops, you get a nice, yeah, that barley malt is really coming through with this one. With the hops, I will say that it's more citrus than pine. So I'm getting maybe a little lemon, maybe a slight grapefruit, but lemon is actually the predominant flavor that I'm getting from the hops. And that herbal grassy note, which is nice. It's a really nice quality in a beer. A lot of European lagers have that grassy herbal note. This one has it as well. It kind of complements the hops, and then you have that nice barley malt breadiness to kind of balance the whole thing out, round it out. It's really enjoyable. The body is on the medium side. The carbonation is nice and prickly, very fine little prickly carbonation going on. The finish is semi-dry. With a bitter beer, with an IPA, when you get above like 30 IBUs, I find that beers are not really very dry, because something with the hops, it just kind of, not that it's a dirty finish, but it's not going to be like your American Adjunct Lager, your light beer, where you just get that really quick drop off on the back end. The hops linger a little bit, and it makes the finish more lingering and less dry. When you have a super dry finish, basically that's it. When you're done with the sip, that's it. It doesn't linger. You don't have any remaining taste from the beer in your mouth. With this one, you do, and it's because of the hops. But it's not bad, but it's not a dry finish. It's a semi-dry finish. It's as close to dry as you can get probably with an IPA, but it's definitely not a dry finish. It's very enjoyable. I'm really liking this. I'm pretty impressed with it. It's probably as sessionable of an IPA as you can get, even though I wouldn't call it sessionable. And for a rating, I'm going to go with a 94 out of 100. It's a pretty solid beer. It's definitely in the A range. So 94 out of 100 for the Samuel Adams Rebel IPA. I really enjoy it. If you're an IPA lover, I think you would really enjoy this beer. If you want something that's a little bit more sessionable than your double and triple IPA hop bombs that are 8, 9, 10+% alcohol that you can only drink one of. If you want something that's a little bit more drinkable that you can have 2 or 3 of, this would be one to go for. I would highly recommend it. It's definitely an excellent beer. So there you go, guys. 94 out of 100 for the Samuel Adams Rebel IPA. Hope you're all having a great day. And until next time, everybody, cheers.